Welcome to a review of the. Can you hear me, Nante?
Yeah, me,
Okay,
JK. Yeah, all good,
all
mate.
good. I thought the sound went right. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Liverpool against Man City the day after. We're gonna hope everyone's well in the chat. Everyone who's watching. How you doing, Nante?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, all good, JK. We done the biz yesterday, so very interesting. Interesting game. A lot of
Mhm.
opinions, but yeah, man, we move. Nice way to hit back, and but again, the rivals always hating or excuses. There's always bitter people on net, especially from
Mhm.
rival fans. It's funny the meltdowns of the meltdown coming over, especially on the asses over there. But yeah,
Like when you think about it, Friday evening when we were on 12 show, like a lot of us were, yo, this weekend can be a bit iffy. With Arsenal playing at home to West Ham and us playing away to Man City. When you look at it on paper, you think, you know what? City could get 3 points against us, and Arsenal will get 3 points against Arsenal, West Ham. And it never turned out like that. That's just mad. Like a lot of people thought this weekend City beat us because it's City. City are not a bad team. Come on. But then when you look at the West Ham result, that for me was the result on Saturday when all of us were together. Brian, Lee, me, you, and we were sort of watching the game in the background, and that result came through. 50% pressure of the day after's game, the City game yesterday, went. I don't know if you felt the same. As soon as that result came through, the West Ham one, this pressure sort of went away from that City game. Hence why I think we played pretty well yesterday, 2-0. The pressure was sort of off in a weird sort of way. Do you think sometimes that sort of makes a difference, them sort of results, in how a team performs the day after?
sometimes I don't think so. I don't think so. It helps, but I don't think so. I think the team plays how they plays. I know there's a few saying, especially in Arsenal fan TV, saying, "Oh, if they would have won, there'd be more pressure to Liverpool." Maybe a little bit, but I don't think it affects the game was going to be a difficult one regardless. So, but obviously, but again, people have got to say, but let them hate, man. We done our job, and that's the main thing. Nothing is guaranteed in football. Premier League equals the Wild Wild West. Anything can happen. We've seen it this season. Look at all the Bournemouths, the Forest. Every game's a struggle. So yeah, we just did what we had to do, and that's it. That's it, mate. And you want to get one step closer, so that's it.
Exactly that. I think a lot of noise comes from fans, and I think it's a bit too much sometimes. I remember the old days when it was just the TV telling us football news. Now, since social
Yeah,
media's come onto it, a lot of energy wasted on
yeah,
arguments, this, that, and the other. And I think if
yeah,
you've got a bit of wisdom in your brain, you're thinking, you know what, I'm not going to get involved in that. And also, what I liked about yesterday's result was we didn't have to get our hands dirty yesterday and moan and argue with a lot of people on the internet. Why? The Liverpool did our job for us. We didn't
yeah.
have to waste our energy. Look at Arsenal fans over the weekend, bro. It's been a madness. Bless up Drew, bro. Hope you're cool. Annie as well. Big up JK. That's my bro. Hope you're cool, bro. Top result yesterday, bro.
Big up, Mr. Carter. Big up. But yeah,
He's a Liverpool fan, bro.
is he? Oh, that's good. Nice, 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 nice. Nice, not nice. But yeah. Look, we Patrick's was good. Get in, son. Get in, mate. Like the good old English say, get in, mate. Get in. Let's
Thanks,
have
Patrick.
it. Let's have it. But big up to yourself, Patrick. Yeah, yeah. Look, I think we all reasonably to be a little bit worried. Obviously, JK, your mentality has always been positive, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the people could be doing is fine. We can all have opinions. Just some can have opinions whether we agree to disagree, as we said many times, JK. I think we always know this, but when people go OTT with certain play things, then it's just yeah. I don't care whether I rate them or not, but just not over the top. You know what I mean? Not over the top. But it was a different performance, and I've got to give credit to Slot.
Hmm.
Got to credit to Arne. I mean, by the way, JK, don't bald Dutch managers struggle in the Premier League? They do struggle, don't they?
I
Yeah, they
heard Dutch
struggle.
players struggle as well, bro.
But mate, honestly, mate, I
That's
mean,
what I've heard.
who is this Arnie Slot? Who is this Arnie Slot, JK? I don't know. They struggle, didn't they? I mean, they've got
You
no
know
clue,
what,
haven't
bro?
they? But yeah,
But I'm gonna say, like for me, when Arnie Slot came in, none of us knew anything really about the lad.
yeah,
And the thing was, I didn't like the way he sort of came into the club because when Klopp said he's leaving, I was like, you know what? Why didn't we just do this at the end of the season? You know, it would hurt,
yeah,
yeah, of course, but it sort of
yeah. But
jeopardized
this is
our title
better.
push. Yeah.
Agreed,
Uh,
JK. And I think, and I remember JK before you go on. Sorry, I think was it Brian the Irishman, something like that, saying no. Well, it's going to get leaked and etc. Just that. But no, I'm sorry. I don't. It doesn't have to get leaked. There's certain things have happened that haven't been leaked. All you have to do is just lie, or just lie to the media. If someone says that, just fob them off. You could just easily done that. Just
yeah,
say,
of
"Oh, I'm
course.
staying for the next 2 years. No, I'm happy." Given all crap, and then yeah, when the end, they just come out of it, and then obviously the club can say we knew, but we just wanted to keep it. So yeah, I didn't like that. I really didn't like that from Klopp. I was very disappointed with that.
Yeah, I
But
was disappointed, right? And then after that was for me the asking Alonso in a press conference while he's manager of Bayer Leverkusen, what's with Liverpool? And I'm thinking, what's going on here, man? You
yeah,
know, this guy's the manager of Feyenoord. He's saying he's coming to Liverpool. And I was like, yo, not a good move by Slot. But for me, Slot was told he can say that. That's my opinion.
yeah,
By the hierarchy at our club, look, you can let that information out. You're going to be the new boss. If they said to him, you know what, keep it stum, don't say nothing until the season's over, it would
yeah,
happen like that, bro. So for me, the club said to him, Slot, let people know that you're coming to Liverpool after this season, finished at Feyenoord.
yeah.
You know,
But I think another thing which I'm sure JK, and I'm sure you heard about this at the end of last year. I don't know how Tottenham must be feeling because they had a chance to get Slot and he was open to more discussions and they rejected him. Oh boy,
ooh.
yeah,
But you got to say that Slot's been blessed with a
yeah,
informed Salah and Virgil van Dijk this season. Like it could
he
be a
has,
worse club, you know, walking into a worse club. Like imagine he walked into
yeah,
United, he would have to do what Ten Hag did, bro. Ten Hag spent the first 3 years trying to scrub the floor there in the club, you know, get rid of this, that, and the other, sort this out like a soap opera. So for me, Klopp sort of left the club. Remember, Klopp said when he walked in, he says, "It don't matter how it is when I walk in; it is how I when I leave. What the situation is, you know." And for me, he left the club in a good standard of players, the youth players coming through. So do you reckon Klopp left us in a good state, innit, bro?
yeah. We can't complain of that. That the squad was good. It depends what's gonna be added. So yeah, so you got to give credit to Klopp for that. You know what I mean? And that's how managers leaving should do. Just the squad is good enough. And like I said, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything. And like I said, I've seen Slot. I saw some of his games in final. He was good, but I just didn't. It wasn't in coach, my specs for us to be the manager. When we heard Ruben or him were, obviously he came more into the fore, I was thinking maybe Ruben, not by much really, maybe Ruben, but I'm glad I was wrong. And then obviously once which he spoke to Ruben and rejected it because he wants to change our style. We've got a certain system. I wasn't that disappointed. I was just like, oh well, all right, fair enough. And then Slot was the guy that I was thinking I didn't want him, but let's again give him a chance. Let's see. But I was thinking in my head like this will be a year of consolidation. He gets used to the team. Top four will be fine. I'll take that. Not what I want, but I'll take it because you have to give him time to understand the squad. And then the following year, then we can go for the title. But mate, he had a good squad. But again, having a good squad doesn't make an impact. Doesn't get anywhere. Look, Pep had a decent squad when he came into Manchester City, plus with
Mm.
buys, and he struggled in his first year. and then it's the second year we've seen, where Pep really went into mode. But what I will say with Slot is, as much as he's good, he's the manager. He has to make the opportunities. He has to how shall I put it? He has to set the play. He has to set the ways for the players. And fair play to him. Fair play to Arnie. Honestly, fair play.
Yeah, yeah, he's done a top job, bro. And I realised every game's a learning curve for him. He's never seen this opposition in his life, maybe on the TV and stuff, of course, but not live
Yeah,
and whatever. You like your Fulhams, your West Hams and stuff like that. And for me, just buying Chiesa as well, who hasn't had a look in for a number of games now, as the only buy coming in, you got to say, wow, well done. And talking about like managers and stuff, like what I was on about Man United, Almiron came in. He looks good in an Adidas top. Don't get me wrong. He looks like a proper manager. But for me, the club's
yeah,
sort of poisoned. It don't matter
yeah.
even if you sent Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp as a tag team to go to Man United now, and they were getting
Yeah,
paid 1 million a week. Them two guys
yeah,
wouldn't be able to sort that club out. That club's
100%.
been it's and for me it's happy days, bro. I've noticed as a Liverpool fan my whole life, and that the hatred comes more from their side than our side. We're pretty chilled. Like for me, yesterday that result, we didn't have to say nothing after the game. Go on no shows and argue with Arsenal United fans. No, no, why? The team did our talking. United and Arsenal can't do that, really. I watched the Arsenal game on Saturday, and I knew with their front line, only Trossard maybe could get a goal. Other than that, so for me, after the Leicester game where they lost 2-0, I said if they were playing a better team than Leicester on that game, where Moreno scored 2 goals, they would have got beat. So seeing West Ham do a job there, for me, it was coming. So that's a good thing. And Slot's come in, done really well, bro. Top of the league in the Champions League. He never did us no favours because we got PSG. But at the end of the day, he was top of the league. Quickly about the Champions League situation, how Slot's handled it. Do you think fair play to him? He did a top job. And how do you reckon the PSG game's going to go in the 2 legs?
It's gonna be difficult. Yeah, agree, Patrick. Yeah, for now, yeah, it's gonna be a difficult game. Gonna be tricky. It's PSG. They're starting to ball out, and it's not just. Yeah, I know it's probably a French league, but they're getting the system. They're getting a pattern play. It's gonna be very hard. It's a difficult one. I think we can sneak it out over 2 legs. We might draw at the Paris Stade Buffard. Might draw, or if we have a 1 goal loss, I'm confident that we'll beat them at Anfield. So
Yeah, the
it'll be,
second leg, yeah.
yeah, be tricky, but I think we'll be able to get through. But they are a danger, and yeah, defensively,
Yeah,
we have to be a bit better. I mean, like a bit like yesterday, we have, but of course,
yeah.
something
It was
that's to
a,
be more solid. Yeah,
I was looking at yesterday's defensive and midfield display. Long time coming, that display. And I always say this in football. Football is a mind thing. Um, when you know before the game that you're going to be playing Real Madrid, Man City, or Bayern Munich, what happens? The players mentally are more sort of ready for it. So when you're playing these lesser teams, what it is, the buzz ain't there. It isn't like a big game, and what happens? The standards sort of drop as well. And that's why football is a lot to do with the mental side of it. And yesterday, for me, showed me after all them 3 weeks where a lot of fans have been moaning. Let's get. We've done a lot of shows over the last 3 weeks, Nalantine, with 12 man, Brian, and everyone. There's been a lot of moaning about how we're playing, the midfield really being non-existent and stuff. So yesterday's result and display more like he got rid of a lot of noise, if you understand my point.
no, yeah, no, agree, agree, JK. There's been a lot of talking and stuff like that. Well, Patrick's, yeah, we hope so too, but I just think that not all three of them are going to get contracts, or well, they'll all get contracts, but I think they'll be rejected. But we'll see. We can only hope. So
You
that's
know,
another equation, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I think, like JK said many times on the Liverpool 12th and other podcasts, as much as we can all discuss and think who's gone, who's not, we just have to live in the moment, go for it, and we'll just deal with it at the end of the season and take it from there.
like for me, bro, Salah, if he wants 500,000 a week, give it him. Simple as that. Because of the way we haven't spent nothing really in 4 windows. Some people will say it's 3.5 or whatever, but for me, 4 windows. We haven't bought no one bar a half-injured Chiesa, and with these sort of contract situations, like think about quickly in the last 2 seasons. Look at the amount of players who have left the club, bro. We had the Fabinho, Henderson sort of group that went, and then we got them players in, and then the summer just went last year. We got rid of a lot of youth sort of players. A couple to Salzburg. We've got a couple of players sent to Brentford, Van der Berg and Cavalier, who scored on Saturday. So we got rid of a lot of players. So for me, there's a lot of money there available for the manager to buy, and also to give Salah the 500,000 a week he bloody deserves, bro. Football's a mad game, and the amount of responsibility on Salah's shoulders. Money don't really mean nothing no more for me when it comes to football. The way football is now, you go to Dubai and people like Duran probably getting, and Tony from Brentford getting 300-400 a week. Shows me if them type of guys are getting that much. And for me right now, Salah is the best player in the world. So that age thing, when they're past 30, move them on. The guy's probably playing the best football of his life right now. And if that's not worth 500,000 a week, I don't know what is. I don't like, even if he stays another 2 seasons. If a half good Salah from this season goes into next season, I'll still take that. Because goals and assists, he's scoring and he's making goals. He's doing the whole shebang. He's doing the whole party himself. And for me, he needs to be rewarded. Virgil, I think out of the three, looks more than likely the one who's going to get signed up. I think with his age and him being club captain, I can see Virgil 100% staying. The other two are a bit iffy for me. Trent, for me, looks really thin. I don't know if he's lost weight. Is that the stress of the game and the contract situation? Because like when you see him playing football now, he just looks like he's lost a lot of weight. I think yesterday he played really well. Good to see, He knows he had to play the full 90 yesterday with Conor Bradley being injured. And when you play football, when you know that anytime soon the manager could just pull you off, you can't get your mind into the game 100%. And I think yesterday with Conor Bradley being injured, Trent just knew he's playing the right back the whole game. Hence why he got skinned a few times by their guy, on the wing. And yeah, it's going to happen in games. You're playing Man City away, he's going to get skinned. Do you know what I mean? But for me, Trent, Robertson, I reckon the defence as a whole played pretty well. Even though Man City did try to attack us quite a lot in the second half. Possession-wise, we had a really low possession rate as well, about 38, something like that. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. I agree with that. Salah, what a player to play for Liverpool. And the thing is, he's never, ever caused any stress, this guy. And another thing, what a lot of people don't really realise, is the guy never gets injured. I think he was injured last season, January time, once. But other than that, this guy stays fit. Come on, man. Which player can be that good and stay fit at the same time at his age? Just let me know in the chat what you guys think. Do you reckon, would you be willing to pay Salah 500,000 a week that he stays at Liverpool for another 2 years? Because for me, Yeah, we could score them goals he scores by, because look at our attack options. We've got Gakpo, Jota, Diaz, Darwin, who haven't really been consistent with their goals, bar Gakpo. And it was another thing good to see yesterday was Gakpo coming onto the pitch as a sub, just to show us that his injury weren't as bad as some people might have thought. So it was good to see him get a few minutes as well yesterday. I think he'll come in against Newcastle on the left, Salah right, and then you got your pick of the three, Gakpo, Darwin, Jota, and Diaz. How do you guys reckon Diaz played yesterday? I reckon Diaz yesterday with the lone attacker with Salah sort of worked. Getting the ball off Diaz is hard work, bro. And a lot of things in football is keeping hold of the ball. When you've got the ball, the opposition can't score. You know, and I think Diaz did that job really well yesterday, you know. And if you guys could press the like button when you come in, share and subscribe, everyone, that'd be really much appreciated. It was good to see the league table there. Let's have a look at the league table quickly. You can't really moan about that, can you, really? 11-point gap. Friday, if you told me we'd be 11 points ahead come Monday, a lot of people would be like, no. Arsenal will beat West Ham and Liverpool might get a draw at City. So we would have thought, you know what, Arsenal will get 2 points on us and then we would have played an extra game. But it all turned out pretty rosy, actually. You know. Big up John Conway, bro. Hope you're cool. Great win against City. Great win, great display as well on top of that, considering how we've been playing recently. We haven't been playing great, even though we haven't been losing. So that's a sign of a good team. You don't play great, but you don't lose. I think if you got battered in the Everton game and then the Villa game, both of them games away from home, it could have gone pretty Pete Tong, you know. So I think the way we sort of handled ourselves yesterday with Salah getting a golden assist again. I think another guy we should mention is Szoboszlai. Another Tottenham away display when he in that 6-3. For me, Szoboszlai's best game for us in a Liverpool shirt. I think he was on par yesterday again. I think what it is with Szoboszlai, when it's a big game, he sort of steps up. So for me, it was good to see him, Szoboszlai, getting another sort of good display under his belt, considering he wasn't great against Villa. He wasn't great against Everton. Yesterday, for me, he was probably second man of the match for me. I think he played pretty well yesterday, Szoboszlai. Newcastle on Wednesday at home. I want to see sort of the same, you know. Szoboszlai, 24 years old. He's got another 4 years. He can smash it. He's got a lot of energy. And he does pretty well when he's playing on top of his game, when you don't think about it too much. I think sometimes he thinks about it too much. And he's a flair player. I said this a few weeks ago where Szoboszlai is the type of guy. He would touch the ball with his laces and open a lot of space up for the next guy. He's very good at little flicks, little quick passes. He's a very clever footballer. And I think with the responsibility with the number 8 shirt, which has been worn by the one and only Steven Gerrard, brings a lot of responsibility. Kayate, however you want to say it, I think didn't do justice to that number 8 shirt. So Szoboszlai hasn't yet for me done it, but that Tottenham away display, 6-3, and that display yesterday for me showed signs of a player who sort of has quality in him, you know, and I think he's done pretty well in them games. Bonkers, bless you, bless up, bro. Hope you're cool. He's going with a front three of Diaz, Salah, and Jota against Newcastle. I don't know. I think Diaz, Gakpo will start. Bonkers. I think him sort of be missing for the last few games has made a bit of a difference. I think yesterday didn't really make a difference there with him missing. I think the way the midfield worked yesterday and slot. I've been worried about the midfield the last few games. Say the Everton game, the Villa game. And when the midfield isn't strong, what happens? The defense sort of gets weakened. Why? Because that protection isn't there. And then hence why we've seen Jones sort of got dropped into that midfield where we sort of sacrificed an attacker to play that extra guy in the midfield. And I think it worked. And the midfield needed that Jones in there yesterday. For me, another guy, I haven't really mentioned Jones. I've never been Jones's biggest fan, but the way he sort of played yesterday, for me, spirit. You know, he got sent off in the Everton game, and everyone was saying, I wish he showed that energy he did after the game on the field. And I think yesterday he did that. Let me know what you guys think. Jones, Sabotolai, them two guys, how they played. And I think it's about time those two sort of guys stood up for me. For me, Goran Birch and McAllister been pretty decent all season. We don't really need to mention them two guys. And out the midfield, for me, it was Jones and Sabotolai need to sort of step up. And I think Jones did that yesterday. You know, Bonkers saying he's got 96 points from this weekend's games. Nice. I need to check mine. Maybe we can do it on 12-man show tonight. We do a little roundup of all the points in each leagues and stuff as well. And let me know in the chat who your man of the match was. I know Salah got the placard of being man of the match. But who else do you reckon needs to get a mention? I think Virgil yesterday, another guy, he was on it yesterday. Virgil back to that level of not letting goals in, you know. Even Kanate, another guy to mention. He sort of stepped up as well yesterday, about time as well, because since he's come back from injury, he hasn't been really great. And I think yesterday's display, hence why I think playing City yesterday was a sort of a good fixture to have. Why? Because of the mental side of the game. It's City away. Even though they haven't been great, it's still City away. And I think the players stood up. And because the Villa game, we should have won as well. Considering how much chances we had. Darwin should have bagged that, should have scored. But I think playing City yesterday was a blessing in disguise. Because for me, every player stood up yesterday. There's not one player I could say, you know what, he had a bad game. The defence and goalkeeper got a clean sheet. Midfield, Orb did a job. Diaz, non-stop running. Salah got a goal and assist. You can't really moan about that. You know? If Nalante comes back, we'll do a quick ratings of all the players. And let me know in the chat as well. Like, we can start off with Alisson if you want. How do you reckon he did? How much out of 10? For me, 9 out of 10. For Alisson, clean sheet. Didn't really have much to do. Because when you really look at it, didn't really have much to do, you know. I'll quickly go through the stats of the game yesterday. Just a moment. City 67% possession, so we had 33% possession still, and we still won it. Passes 659 to 332. Passing accuracy, theirs was 91%, ours was 80%. Not great, but hey. Fouls, we did 10. They did 3. Away from home against City, you're going to commit fouls. It's the way the game is, you know. No yellow cards, no red cards yesterday at all. Whoa. A Man City Liverpool match had no cards in. That's a bit of a mad one there. Wow. Okay, and then with the offsides, 4 for us, 2 for them. Corners, 7 for them, 5 for us. I think this season, when you look at Forest, for example, low possession sort of base team, but still end up getting results. Shows you that football, sometimes having the ball all the time doesn't really matter with the result, you know. And that's what we've seen this season. Bless up, Brian. How you doing, bro?
All good, man. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, heard some very interesting statements there. I thought I better call in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you go ahead, my God. You were doing something there.
Yeah. We just going through the stats of the game yesterday, bro. No yellow cards, no red cards. Even though we only had 33% possession of the ball, What do you think of that? Oh, how do you feel today about yesterday's result? We'll start off with that.
Just 10 out of 10, man. Just 10 out of 10, you know. Go. We got a lot of what we were hoping for, just a control, like just a, what would you call it? A realistic performance. We were 2-0 better than them. They're not Man City anymore. They're not that big, unstoppable machine. You know, it didn't have to be. We could have gone there and they were good, and we could have pulled out a crazy kind of, once in a year performance and beat them 4-3, and it'd be a big, huge, dramatic game. But there would have been reasons, to say, well, they nearly beat ye, but we just went there and just put a chokehold on them. Just said, no, there ain't going to be any drama. There ain't going to be any fireworks. There isn't going to be any VAR controversies, no penalties, no reds. It's just going to be a straight up chokehold performance. And we're just better than you are. We don't. It doesn't need to be a big dramatic Hollywood kind of job, last minute Hail Mary goal or anything like that. Just a totally controlled, simple kind of champions performance. Just going 2-0 up, shutting it down. And again, like the thing, we never talk about refs when they have games like that. All before, like, it was, even during the week, it was like, oh, have you seen who the ref is? Like, is it him? Well, we've no chance now with that guy. That's what they were saying. And then, and have you seen who's on VAR? Oh, that's even worse. We're screwed now.
Yeah.
No yellows, no reds. People never talk about it, man. People just use refs as an excuse all the time. But no, where was the ref problems yesterday when we won 2-0 away at City? Why was the ref not out to get us yesterday? Like you said, no yellows, no reds. It was refed really well. There was no mess ups, no kind of nothing like that. So just a real clean game. That's what I wanted, a game that we could just come away from and not have someone go, yeah, but that should have been a penalty, or, oh, that offside. Not just a real surgical performance, man. So, like Virgil said it today, I think he said it was the complete performance, and it was.
It was 100%. I think probably, considering the opposition, maybe our best away performance of the season. What do you reckon? Or that 6-3 against Spurs. But for me, a clean sheet at City away.
Yeah.
They still had some ballers on there. De Bruyne was there, even though he wasn't great. Foden, not great as well. Foden was playing. There was one time in the game where Foden was in the middle of the box and he had 4 Liverpool shirts surrounding him. And I was thinking, something's not right with the City team, Why didn't they play Mamouche there in the middle? So for me, City right now, I think they're just sort of testing this, that, and the other. If it works, it works. But for me, they could be in a sort of serious situation about top 4. They could win the FA Cup. I think they're probably favourites for that. But Premier League-wise, top 4, it could get a bit dodgy for them. Hence why they need to sort of step up. I think they play Arsenal as well at their ground, don't they? At City, isn't it? That one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think they played at Arsenal's, didn't they? The first one.
Yeah.
So for me, that should be. Yeah, it'd be cool if it was next week, considering what Arsenal's sort of injury list is like. If they were playing City next week, because next week's FA Cup, so we've got a rest weekend next weekend. That might be a nice thing to have, considering we're at the FA Cup. So next weekend is after. So we've got Newcastle coming up on Wednesday. Then we've got a free weekend, and then we've got Southampton. Or is it the Champions League then Southampton? Let's have a quick look. Have a quick look through our fixtures for us. Okay, here we go. We've got Newcastle on the Wednesday, 8:15 kickoff, and then yeah. I was thinking that, and then we got the weekend off before we go into that PSG Champions League game. That's the best. That's the blessing in disguise, Brian. You know, because like you were saying about in that draw where Plymouth ended up getting City, that would have been us. So we would have been playing City again this Saturday or Sunday before we went into that Paris game. So I'm sort of happy in a weird sort of way that we didn't have to do that. What do you think of that? That having that little break next weekend before the PSG game. Do you reckon that's gonna be a good thing? Let us know in the chat as well. What do you think with this not playing next weekend? Is it a blessing in disguise? For me, it is. You know, PSG away. So we've got a Newcastle game this Wednesday. Then we ain't got a game for a week. Yeah, considering there's only 28 days in February. So we will play Wednesday. Then we don't play again until the following Wednesday, and that's away to PSG. Then on the Saturday coming up after that, we got Southampton at home. Then on the Tuesday, we got PSG at home. So that's our next sort of 4 games. And then after that, Champions League game against PSG. On the Sunday coming after that, we've got Newcastle in the final of the Carabao Cup. So this Premier League game coming up. And then there's one on the 8th of March. And then after the 8th of March, we then have a Premier League game until the 2nd of April. So there's a bit of a gap there. And that's that. And guess who that's against? That's the Merseyside derby at Anfield. So considering them fixtures, Brian, what do you think? How it would go for us the next few weeks?
Sorry, some text me there.
No problem.
No, it'll be grand. When is the international break? Just
I
looking
think
for
it's
that
end of
here. When
March,
does
isn't it? It must be the end of March. Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. So there's still plenty games to be played. Yeah, I think we can put all our focus, not all our focus, but we now give ourselves an opportunity. Like McAllister was saying there, I was reading a thing what Mac was saying. He was like, you know, he said, look, I watch the games. I always watch the games. And he said, look, it's better for us when they lose because it makes our job easier. And now we've kind of getting that win. It's like he was talking about the Arsenal game. He's like, I watched the last half hour when I got home. And yeah, he said, that's good for us. That's what we want to see. We want to see our rivals lose. So we set ourselves up now for to be able to, I don't know, not rest or take our eye off the ball or anything like that, but to be able to kind of properly target the cup final first and foremost, and then those Champions League games. You know, it gives us the opportunity to kind of do that. Like Newcastle during the week could be the last kind of. Well, no, then we got Everton at home. Yeah, I'd forgotten about the quick turnaround. They're going to be 2 kind of big energy games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? High energy games.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we can take a little bit of a kind of, what would you call it? A break. I'm trying to find the right word for it, but just knowing how far we are ahead in the league, just to be able to concentrate on other places, but they're still coming thick and fast. And when you look at it, it's like, oh, well, it's Newcastle, then PSG, and then a little while later, PSG, then Newcastle, then Everton. Other than Southampton, there isn't much. There isn't kind of much there. It's like, oh, yeah, we can rest the boys here, you know? Those 2 PSG games and a cup final then.
Yeah, you need your big dogs in there.
Yeah. Followed up, we're following the cup final up with a game against, well, there's a big gap there between the 16th of March and the 2nd of April. Yeah, so that's obviously the international break.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get a couple of, well, we don't, the players don't, but there's a gap after the cup final.
Yeah, and I think that week now we got after the Newcastle game, that's going to be a good time for the players to really chill for a week before our next game for that PSG game. You know, that's why when we lost to Plymouth, of course, I want to win every trophy. But when you look at the positive side of that picture, was that we're going to have a weekend free now where after that display yesterday, and with another big game against Newcastle coming on this Wednesday, I think we might need it. And I'm telling you right now, not being in the FA Cup is a sort of a blessing in disguise for me. Even though I wanted to win that game and the cup, I want to win everything. But we're not in it. So for me, I'm going to look at the positive side to that. We got a weekend free where the players could sort of rejuvenate, get themselves together, and get ready for that big Champions League game against PSG, man. I can't wait for that one. If we just do a display like we did yesterday away at PSG, because PSG got some good players, bro. Dembele stepped up since he's been there. Vitana's doing good. You know, they're doing pretty well, considering how they've spent a lot of money over the last decades. And right now, Mbappe ain't there, Messi isn't there, nor Neymar. And if they couldn't win it with them three guys, I don't think they're going to win it anytime soon for me. What do you think of that, Brian? When you consider what they had as their front three, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, bro. If you can't do it with them three guys, I don't think you can do it with anyone.
Yeah, I think they might even be, strangely enough, I don't know about winning it, but more dangerous now than they were, other than when they're maybe peaking with them when they got to the final, which I don't think all three. I don't think Messi was in that final. I think they're a more dangerous side now that they're playing.
Mm-hmm. I think when you get rid of the top players sometimes in a team, like Harry Kane. Yeah, he became too sort of a singular sort of player. It was more about him than the team, even though he just used to score goals for the team. I get that. But I think sometimes when clubs have big players there, they might not be that good sometimes. We just have that Arsenal. We're playing Arsenal on the 15th of May, was it? What was it? The 3rd of May? At home at the end of the season. Just quickly say all right to Graham Rodgers. This weekend went better than anyone could have dreamed. Bang on, bro. Because on Friday, everyone was saying West Ham are going to lose, Arsenal are going to win, and we'll probably get a draw at City. It didn't end up like that. And bless up, Gene. I hope you're cool, sister. Hey, gents and chat. Happy Mondays. 20. Let's go. 100%. I think this weekend was a long time coming. You know? As Liverpool fans, we needed that weekend just right now. Because the last few weeks have been a bit iffy, you know. A lot of moaning, a lot of pointing fingers at referees, a lot of this, that, and the other. Even Rio Ferdinand co-commentating on games against us. All that sort of soap opera was going on. And I think that display yesterday sort of confirmed where we're going. Yep, there you go. 10th of May against Arsenal. And I think that's the third last game of the season.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be. I think it's the third last. And we've got Brighton after that, and then Palace last game of the season. We've got Leicester, Tottenham there, Chelsea away before the Arsenal game. But for me, the Premier League should be wrapped up by then, in my opinion. Yeah, it should be wrapped up by then. Some big games there, some big games. I think Newcastle twice in a few weeks. Newcastle beat Forest yesterday 4-3. They concede goals, bro, but they also score goals. I think Isaac, like looking into the game on Wednesday, Isaac's their danger man, you know. But for me, I want Virgil Konate to do the same display they did yesterday, again on Wednesday, then have a week off. Happy days. Just going into the game yesterday, Brian, like for me, Salah, man of the match. But for me, honourable mentions. Have you got a few at the team? Do you reckon had a top game?
No, to me, Virgil was man of the match.
Oh, Virgil. Yeah.
Absolutely man of the match. By far, man of the match.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think Mo had his contribution, but that was all built on, look at those stats again, put them up. We did what Forest do. We let him have the ball. We let them have all the possession at their ground, and that was all built on what Virgil was doing from the back, commanded from the back. So to me, I think he ran that show. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a display he needed to have, considering the Everton game, 2 goals let in, Villa 2 goals let in, and we kept a clean sheet. And I think Virgil was the boss yesterday at the back. You know, I think Kanate also honourable mention. Who else? Like for me, Curtis Jones and Sabotzalai, bro. Them 2 guys yesterday. Come on. You can see why now yesterday Jones played. I think we needed that extra body in the middle of the park. And Jones was have you noticed how Jones is always the first guy to do the pressing? He's the number 1 guy, bro. Jones. Have you noticed that in games?
Yeah, well, he follows his instructions. I don't, he's like he put it up there. Yeah, so he put those 2 boys through the middle. This is kind of what I was talking about before the game, where Man United would go with a 4-5-1 away in Europe. I think maybe this is a formation that he likes the idea of having this away at a big team. It's proven it can work now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this again, but you wouldn't see it at home against Southampton or at home against Ipswich.
Mm-hmm.
This is a system where, like he said yesterday, he said it in the press conference. He asked about Darwin or in an interview. And he said, look, we all know Darwin's strengths, and Darwin's biggest strengths aren't defending from the back. And we were going to need a lot of that. And then we also had 2 wingers who, when we wanted to attack, we had 2 quick wingers, and you had the 2 boys in the middle, Jones and Dom working really hard, pushing up, then making 2. I think he liked it, liked the way, and it's something different, you take out an attacker, you put in a midfielder, you shore it all up, and it's pretty much worked a treat now there against one of, well, not in a good frame of mind, City, but I think it's a formation that you might see Muse again, say away in Paris, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't expect to see it much in kind of home games that we're expected to win, Southampton, Palace, these kind of things.
Nalante, we could do a quick ratings of the players if you want. We'll start from the back then. Alisson, for you, out of 10? Or should we do out of 100? Or should we do out of 100? The way...
Nah.
Let's do it at 10.
Nah, 10's fine. Yeah, let's keep it
people.
nice and simple. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to do any
plus
grades.
Americans like doing it big, bro.
Brackets,
Yeah.
brackets plus minus 1.
Yeah, we'll keep it simple. Yeah, this is a free panel. Yeah.
Alisson got a doctorate degree for that performance.
Exactly. We don't know what mark that is. It's just a doctor's degree, a diploma.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Alisson was fired. He sound like solid 7. Didn't really have much to do as much as the shots that Man City had were P rollers really, and then Mamouche goes offside. So solid 7. Yeah, P rollers. Yeah,
it makes it sound like he was busier than he was.
Nah. But again, that's the stat merchants, bro. The stat merchants will get deep into that, and again, that's why the eye test is better than the stats.
That's it. Well, it only takes the things that will be counted as a shot on target in a game is just some of them are, but
it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
So you give him a 7, Brian?
Yeah, solid 7.
No, I'd give him an extra point because way at the Etihad. So, I'll give him an 8.
Okay, I'll give him a 9. Why? 1 straight standard 7, 8 out of 10 for getting a clean sheet for everyone in the defense and goalkeeper and that. But I think with the way he's not been at his best in the last few weeks, letting goals in, him going away to City and just being concentrated, bar that one punch out where he should have caught, he was sort of sound. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Why? Because he hasn't had a clean sheet in a long time. So I'm going to give him that extra point there. He's a long time coming.
I thought you were gonna say JK. Why? Because my name's JK.
Nah. If you let us know in the chat when we go through the players' names, how much you would give them out of 10, that'd be cool as well. Alison, so for me a 9, Brian at 8, and Nalante a 7. That's cool. That's cool. We'll take that. Okay, we'll start from the back now with Trent. Nalante, Trent, for you.
Oh, have to put it on me. God damn it. Oh God, this is a hard one. We've got the clean sheet. I have to take that in consideration, but I'm basing it on individual players, and he might not be 100%, but he got burned nearly every time, and I mean every time. Maybe about once or twice. And as I said, look, a winger's going to be a fullback. That's fine, no problem. I'm not expecting to get every tangle, but it's getting to a point where it's ridiculous, and he was saved. But on the flip side, attacking wise, he was good. So 6, just a 6 for me.
But bro, okay, that's your choice.
Yeah.
I was gonna be Trent's I was gonna be Trent's lawyer then. I was like, bro, 6? Come on, bro. Away to City, paid in part of a defense that had clean sheet. He has to be standard 7, bro. But okay, 6, we go with that. Brian?
5.
Oh my days.
Yep. See, Bryce, I'm about to say wavelength. See,
I'm gonna give him a 7 because of the clean sheet. Their guy on the wing, bro, he was their main option to attack, and Trent had to deal with him. I don't think he did anything that sort of dangered us, even though he might have got past Trent a few times. The guy's a nippy winger, you know what I mean? I think he ain't got no end product. I think if he had end product yesterday, for me, Trent would have got a 3 out of 10 because there was no end product. Kanate sort of covered Trent a few times as well. Gravenberch was helping him out. But that's what football's all about. You know, your wingers are going to beat your fullbacks. It happens. What he
He's
does
off
with it
corners,
after
JK.
sort of counts.
He's off corners.
Yep.
He's been taken off corners.
McAllister was taking them.
And he was in the last 2 games as well.
Interesting that.
But for me, Trent looked more concentrated yesterday. My opinion. He just looked a bit more with it. Even though he got skinned a few times.
A view.
So I'm going to give him a standard 7. He got skinned, bro,
No problem.
but nothing came out of that.
Doesn't matter, JK, whether it came out or not. We were rated. Now, I even say, JK, don't get me wrong, but we're focusing on the individual performance, and regardless if he came out or not, he got saved by others. So, but he got destroyed. I'm sorry, I have to keep it 100%. And he was not what it was too. It was bad, but that's fair enough anyway. But yeah, 7 for you, 6 for me, 5 for Brian. So there you go.
You know, all right, that's cool. Kanate, Brian.
Yeah, Trent has always had a babysitter, minder, bodyguard, whatever you want to call it, and it's since Jordan Henderson left, it's usually been Ebo's job. So he always does that too. He always does like a job and a half, especially yesterday, like you're saying, when he has to come across, he has to do things, but more often than not, and I've seen it a few times, where a ball has gone into Kanate's space, Ebo's space, and you see getting cleared suddenly, and it's Virgil van Dijk, who should be in the left hand side. He's in the right hand. Why? Because Ebo's had to go off somewhere else. And so Ebo really is then covering the whole thing. Sometimes even when Ebo was there, Virgil was like, no, I'm going to get rid of this. So it's part of a huge kind of partnership. A lot goes on there. So 8.
No, I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, he started off so Kanai once or twice. He made some silly fouls as he does, no need, but improved in the game. Yeah, I agree with Brian. Same score.
8, yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. Next up, the captain, Virgil van Dijk. I will give him. It was the 10 out of 10 display, but I'll give him a 9 out of 10. Virgil van Dijk. Straight up, 9 out of 10 display, solid. just dictated the back, kept it sweet. 9 out of 10 for me. Brian, as you said, man of the match for you.
Yeah, 9.5.
Okay, go with that. And Delante, Virgil.
Yeah. VVD was back on it today. That's the VVD we know and love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nine for me. Yeah, 9 for me, like you.
So I think so far he's the guy who's got the most points. For Jean as well, captain was man of the match for her as well. Okay, left back Robertson. Delante. That hook sounds like a 3.
Yeah, when you go to school and you do maths and certain maths I'm not good at. I'm just trying to figure this equation out. Paper.
Yeah, that's the noise you're making it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. See, it's hard. I mean, again, it's different. Trent, like we got the clean sheet, but he wasn't great. As bad as Trent defensively, in my opinion. And I think it's in 2 games where Robbo has been headless in terms of you're rushing out to the ball to a ball you're not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And attacking wise, he's quite good actually. On the attacking side, he was like more. That was like an old Robbo. He's very good attacking, linking up the play, and people forget his role. Sobel might have scored the goal and Salah would assist, but Robbo's play of taking the defender out was crucial to giving Sobel the space. And I think people forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
But his defending was bad as Trent's. It weren't great. It wasn't as bad, but in the second half, Silvino was cooking him quite a bit, and Diaz had to help, and then he had to come off spot. This is so. If I say trade, 6.
Okay.
Big up,
Brian?
Cedric.
Yeah, well, I think that's about fair, to be honest with you. Yeah, 6.
Okay. I'll give him a standard 7. But I think Robertson in the last few games has looked better. He had a really dodgy patch for a number of games. And I think in the last few games, he looks more mentally better in the game. I just felt, he's going to get cooked. That Brazilian guy on the wing for them. That's what he does. But for me, no end product as well with him as well, So hence why I'm not really going to moan about Robertson and Trent, because they're facing 2 wingers, and that's their job. That's what they do. Run around trying to beat ya, and no end product from both of them yesterday, I'll give Robertson yesterday for a 7. I'll give him a 7 then. Bless up, Cedric. Hope you're cool, bro. Let's big up JK, Nalante, and Brian. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. Going into the midfield now. We'll start off with Gravenberch. For me, Gravenberch yesterday was sort of back to his sort of best. Got around, played it neat, played it tidy. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I think he played pretty well yesterday, Gravenberch. Back to his sort of better self, what he's been. He was a bit iffy in the Everton game, iffy in the Villa game, but I think yesterday he was sort of back to his sort of standard good player. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Brian for Gravenberch.
Yeah, like it was always going to be a midfield game there, but we did go into our basically low block Forest style, kind of sitting there, let them have the ball. So it was a game of staying switched on, being concentrated. Like it's nice to have a 2-0 lead when we do that, but and they all played their part very much. Like he's a player who can sometimes go unnoticed in games, I think in a good way, but he's someone I can't remember the last time he made a mistake. I mean, he's made mistakes in games, of course, but a kind of that Gravenberch error or that Gravenberch, like he's just so completely rock solid all the time. He can kind of just goes through a game. Like he plays in the holding role. You never see him flying into challenges, tackling people, getting stuck in like Mac does. And I'm not saying it as a criticism. Like he's just cool, calm, kind of rudder at the back. So yeah, it's what did he say?
8. I gave him.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, okay, 8.
Yeah. Nalante, bro. Gravenberch.
I'll go one down. I think he was better than he was, but I don't think he was quite up. But again, he did what he did well. 7.
Okay, that's cool. It was just good to see him sort of playing better
Yeah.
against the City team, you know. Okay, then next up we'll have Curtis Jones. Nalante, you can go again.
Curtis. Curtis.
Jones. Oh, yeah.
I love the say. We were great man to collect. Look, what I found interesting was he started in the left, but him and Sabo swapped alternatively. And I thought Jones, he was again with the ball in terms of defense, holding the ball. He wasn't great at times, but again, did some good work. And then in certain moments, he was good. And obviously, the offside goal, I know it was just an easy tapping, but he did okay. He did okay. A little bit better. It could be better in some parts, but which I thought with all of the midfield. So yeah, I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7.
Okay, Brian Curtis.
Yeah, looked a slightly better version of what we're trying to do the other day. They all played their part massively in that.
Mm-hmm.
He looks somewhat comfortable in that position. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 8. 8 sounds about fair to me.
Yeah, I'll give him 8 as well, Curtis. I think yesterday he showed a bit of that fight in him. He scored that goal as well, which was offside by Sabotala. I hope Sabotala was like, I think half a second there would have made a difference. I think if he sort of started running a half a second later and then went through, it would have been sound. But for me, Curtis does that. And I've noticed that about Curtis. He pops up in the box quite a lot, either defending, sort of putting pressure on their defenders, or just as a midfielder coming in late into the box is an old school sort of method, arriving late in the box and getting a goal. And I think Curtis can do that pretty well. So I'm going to give him 8 out of 10. Good to see him having a bit of fight in him, rallying up the crowd. Even though we never scored, he still went, come on, lads. Let's,
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I like that. I like to see my players do that. I don't think Sabotslai does that enough. He's a bit quiet. Endo, maybe. But I feel Curtis has got a personality that can do that. Kanate also. Kanate was doing it yesterday. And I think,
He's the
yes, that's
scouser in
why
the team, Jake. He's the scouser in the team.
about time he did a display like that, bro, yesterday. Showing a bit
I think
of fight.
Sabo's too busy running himself into the ground, mate. See him at the end of the game
Yeah.
yesterday, collapsed on the turf after
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
another
Yeah.
500 kilometers. The
Yeah.
guy is just unstoppable.
Yeah. He's never done this in his life, bro. I said that at Leipzig and for Hungary, bro. He didn't put that shift in as he has done for Liverpool this season, It's a whole new football world for him, what he's doing right now. It's taking him time because when you're a flair player, the last thing you want to be doing is running around all game. You just want to sort of stay in the same sort of area and work it from there. I think Klopp using Sabotslai as a runner last season gave him a workout he's never had in his life, and if you keep on doing that over a lengthy sort of time, what happens? Your body gets used to running that much. Hence why now for me, Sabotslai is probably the fittest he's ever bloody been. And I think yesterday's display by Sabotslai was a 9 out of 10 display for me. Nalante, Sabotslai, for you?
Oh, we're going to Sub next, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can't argue. Yeah, 9, man. Yeah. He was on. Yeah. I mean, as the Irishman, if you don't mind me quoting your words, yes, we expect players. That's just a day job to run and do that. That's just to be expected. but there was end product and assist. And yeah, he was good. Yeah, 9 all day.
Yeah, just quick. But Curtis, how much did you give Curtis again, Nalante?
I gave him a 7.
Say again, sorry.
7 for Curtis.
7 for Curtis. And what did you give Curtis, Brian?
8.
Yeah, I gave Curtis an 8 as well. And Sabotulai 9. 9 for you, yeah, Nalante, Sabotulai?
Yeah, 9 definitely.
I don't even rate Kirsten. You all know that.
Yeah, I didn't as well, bro. Tell you the truth. But when I see him sort of getting vexed up and getting ready to play, I like that. You got to show spirit, bro. So yes, the Sabotulai, what are you going with him?
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah,
9.
yeah. 9 as well. Wow. So everyone rating him highly. Good to see. McAllister next. Brian, you can take McAllister if you want.
Yeah, very. I mean, after the game, he looked like he'd been in an MMA fight. His whole thing, because remember when he slid into your man and your man landed on him? There was nothing in it. Like your man just accidentally landed on him, but he got
Yeah,
another bang in the face. That's just Gary Mack every single game. He has to get into something that I don't know what it is about him, man. He loves being the big hard challenges. I hope it doesn't come back to haunt him, but he was in another one of them. The guy is just irrepressible. He's the best of everything kind of Argentinian in that
Mm-hmm.
where you've got like the best of their defenders, you've got the steel and the silk. They just love the battle. They love the physicality of it. They they thrive on that. They enjoy that. It's the way they're brought up and the way they're brought up to play football. And then they have the skill and the ability and and then the game intelligence. To me, if he had a what would you call it, 5 yards quicker,
Oh,
Jesus,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You'd be
Yeah, yeah.
talking about one of the.
The
He's
best.
already up there, but that's the only thing he doesn't have is that out and out pace through the
Mm-hmm.
middle. Not that many people have, but even for a centre mid, he is a bit kind of mid paced. Um, but he just reads the game so well. He's just to me, he's one of the perfect players. You stick him in every game, you give 100%. He's not going to get bullied, and he can play. I mean, what more do you want really than that? And the attitude is always 100% spot on.
Yeah.
100% spot on. So I just again yesterday, maybe not his best game, so just an 8, but
Mm-hmm.
the kind of player that you don't win a game like that without players like him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Nalante, McAllister.
yeah. I thought Gary Mack was very efficient without Bryson playing his best game, but he's crucial. Obviously set piece, and he did his thing. Mac, mate, I tell you. Soon we'll be putting him in a different stratosphere. But on today's 7.5.
Okay. For me, the only thing that's not Argentinian about him is his name. you know, solid guy. He would put his whole body in there just for you to win that game. That's the type of guy you want at Liverpool. And I wasn't really excited about this guy before he came in. I was like,
Oh, I
okay.
was.
I wasn't, you know why, bro? Because
I
I
was
never
happy.
really watched a lot of Brighton, and but I realized, look, he's getting picked for Argentina, and he's sort of winning a World Cup with them, and he's getting in the team. He's playing with Messi, so there must be something special about him. Seeing the price tag, I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. I thought this guy would go for about 100, and then now speaking like a year or two later, McAllister is probably one of my favorite players. Why? Because of his
Yeah,
attitude. His attitude is spot on. Yeah, go on, Brian.
yeah, but you know why he was so cheap, right?
Yeah, because of he signed a little contract quickly before he could leave for free, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to be free in the summer.
Yeah.
He could have walked for nothing. So
Yeah.
because like to show loyalty to the club or whatever you want to call it, signed a deal with 35 million release. Because like you're saying, without that, he's 70, 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the way he's
70. Yeah.
like, it was like you played fancy football. It was like if Saicedo was fit and they had their other DM, you picked McAllister because when they were fit, McAllister played in the 10 and he got goals and assists and he took their penalties. When they weren't fit, they'd play him in the DM, so you wouldn't put him in your fancy football team. He's only like, he'd usually be like 6.5 million. So to me, it was like, yeah, that guy's shown he can do it. He's proved it. I did. He's like, I'd still like to see him play a bit further forward for us sometimes. Like he did when Endo came on, pushed him up into where Jones was. So yeah, I can see him being here for the next 6 years and getting lots of trophies and 70 goals. You know, this kind of, well, maybe not 70, but I can see him having a lot. Like he just fits Liverpool. He really fits us. You know, I think it wouldn't matter what manager came in. If Slot left in 2 years, the next manager will come in and go, yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
I'll quickly go through the chat then. Nalante, you could tell us about McAllister. What do you reckon? How he played? Greetings to Mr. Tibso, number 9. Hope you're
Big
cool,
up,
bro.
Mr. Tips.
Hope everything's blessed. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. Bless up, Steve. Man of the match, Salah, golden assist, wins the 3 points.
Big up, Steve.
Tipso
Big up.
says, Mr. Tipso says it's not over yet, and our players need to
Agreed.
stay focused and professional.
Agreed.
And Steve, when mathematically we have won the title, then I will celebrate. At this moment, we have one hand on the title. We have been here
Bang
before.
on.
Stay humble.
Bang on, Steve.
And Brian,
Spot on.
Brian tells him, stay humble is for the Arsenal fans. We are humble, Liverpool fans. Come on. When you really look at it, I haven't seen one Liverpool fan from our sort of crew who's given it Barry Big Guy, Barry Big Guy. Yeah, we're the best. No. We keep our feet on the ground. That's why us fans support Liverpool. You got to be, Liverpool sort of chooses you. And if you're that type of guy who sort of stays humble, is a good character, you end up supporting Liverpool, so it's a good thing. And Steve gives 10 out of 10 for Arnie's subs. Bang on the money. Sobotlai's sort of goal and assist, joint man of the match. And also Arnie allowed Jones to be playing the false 9 role. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Jones was the most forward guy out the whole game. Like he's always there at the front. Nalante, McAllister out of 10.
Oh no, I rated him JK. 7.5.
Oh, you gave him a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, 7.5. Yeah.
You gave him an 8, McAllister, yeah, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him 8 as well. I think solid, just does what he does, Yeah, man, top little player he is, McAllister. Okay, Luis Diaz then next. Brian?
I think more along the lines of 7.5. Diaz played his role in it, but not the star. And the other people are getting 8s and 9s, so 7.5. I just thought he was part of, like what we want him to. The boys stay out wide, be available, have pace, running behind. So he worked as an outlet. He didn't work as a finisher, but other people did that, so that's cool. But so still just 7. Yeah, 7 actually.
Yeah. Nalante, bro, 7 out of 10 from Brian.
Yeah, same with Brian. 7. It's a bit like the Wolves game, like in the sense of, but the other way around. Like first half, I don't think he was great at all. Struggled to hold the ball, etc. And second half, he's a bit better. Supported Robbo a lot, defending against Savinho, and obviously the shot. A good shot, good save. So yeah, 7.
I'll give him an 8 out of 10 because of the way he just keeps the hold of the ball, gets our team sort of back into shape and stuff. Wasn't great attacking wise, couldn't find his feet in the first half really. But I think when you look at the whole game, because I watched the game again, he just kept the ball when we needed him to keep it. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10 for yesterday's display. Next up is the main guy, Salah. Nalante, what do you reckon, bro?
Oh, 10. 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Honestly, forget about, and like I said, I'm not. It's not even about he scored an assist again for the eighth or umpteenth time in a row. It's what he's done without the ball. His movement. The City defenders, Guardiola was scared. His pace with the ball, running with the ball, his movement, his intelligence. And people say that all he is just goals and assists, stat man. Thinking it, watch this game and tell me if he's just a stat man in this game. 10.
Well, there you go. Brian, I know you gave Virgil man of the match, so and he got a nine
Oh
and a
yeah, I
half.
can give some the same score, but still say someone else man. I can give two people a 9, and I can still say one's man of the match.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I had no problem doing that. Uh, yeah, 9.5 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a 10 because of the way he just it was him and Diaz up top, and is a governor. He's like twice the size of Salah. So we had him all game, and Salah sort of cooked him a few times. Salah was
He's having
battling
a poor
yesterday.
year. He's having a
Yeah.
poor season defensively, Guardiola.
Yeah. Attacking
He
wise,
is.
he's a good little player, but defensively not great, I don't think. So I'm giving Salah a 10 yesterday for that display, bro. He was a fighter, you know. So he gets my man of the match. Steve said FSG would have never signed Mac 10 if the price tag was at the market value. FSG cannot move like assassins. Can move like assassins in the market if the price is right for them. Of course, it's a business. So, but the bought the bots alive for a lot of money. Mac 10 will be approved by
Not necessarily,
2027.
but oh,
What do you reckon of that?
Steve. I'm gonna say no.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll stay at Liverpool for a long time, my opinion. Brian, what do you think? McAllister, Madrid, one day. I just feel like
No, I don't see it. No, not by 2027. I mean, football is football. You never say never in football, but
Yeah.
they are, of course, they're not going to keep everybody, but they're pretty well stocked in the midfield. I don't, of course, they lose Modric at the end of the year. They need people. Is Gary Mack at that elite level for them? I don't know. I
I
don't
called
know.
him Gary. I called him Gary Mack the other day as well,
Oh,
bro.
Gary Mack, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, yeah,
You
because we
know.
were talking about Gary Mack in the five-a-side the other day, and for some reason I called Alex McAllister Gary Mack. I don't know
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. He plays with us today. You're like, what? Jeez, guys are tired.
Guys, he's come back. You know,
But yeah, exactly.
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird,
Gary
man.
The
Because
Mack
f-
is
McAllister,
definitely not getting into Madrid side in 2027.
It's a reincarnation of Alexis McAllister.
for me, he's a Liverpool player, and I think he will be for a long time. Are you guys worried about the Canate turning down FSG's lowball offer for a new deal?
But
Um,
Steve, who said that? Because we really don't know what actually was offered to Ibrahim Kanate. It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say.
Yeah, what number did we offer him?
Yeah, well, number, yeah, because there's no reports of no offer, Steve. So I need more. Yeah, I'm not going to
I've
believe
heard
he
the
was
story that he
lowballed.
turned down a deal. I've heard the
Yeah,
story that he turned down a deal, but
yeah,
was it a low ball offer? Is it he just, it always comes
yeah,
down to money at the end of the day. Most players turn down the first contract. That'd be
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
standard behavior. Be most players turn down the first one and say, yeah, no, nice, but no, not quite on those terms.
Enough. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Well, what do we need to do? Nah, but this bit of that, usually more money.
yeah.
But yeah, usually very few players like sign the first deal that's put in front of them.
And it takes
So
a bit of time to get to a figure that both parties are happy with. And that happens in football clubs where the player will be like, you know what? They're a bit cheeky with that little increased offer on my new contract. I'm going to tell them I'm not happy with it, but I won't tell the cameras that. So there'll be a bit of soap opera, home and away neighbours, EastEnders drama playing, you know, by the players and the agent. Because at the end of the day, the club separate themselves from the player when it comes to contract talks. Why? Because there's money involved, and they will outcast you if they're not happy with what you want and they don't want to give you it. Yeah, they'll sell you. So for me, they're like products of the club, and the club always want to look after number one, and that's their money. And if they feel like Kanate don't deserve that extra increase in a wage, what they want, they're not going to give it him. Hence why you've seen Kanate act a bit funny in that press conference a while back when they were talking about contracts. Contracts take a long time sort of to get to a figure where both parties are happy, hence why they're a bit of neighbours home and away and that sort of stuff goes on.
Yeah, and Jake, if you've got a deal on the table for an Ebu, right, you could be 200K, right? Should be a lot. That'll be a lot for him. But anyway, say it's 200K, and he's got an agent there just going, yeah, well, PSG are prepared to pay him 270. So what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what that club values him at. So then you'll get something like that. They'll all have such and such club is prepared to give you 70 million, and they're prepared to give my client 300 grand a week. You're offering him 190, an increase of 50 on his 140, or whatever he's on. So you get a couple other clubs involved. Like, well, he's prepared to take her out to a very nice restaurant. Where you can take her out, you know? You're still going to take her to McDonald's? Or you're going to, you know, because a couple of lads over there, they're happy to take her out to a nice Michelin star restaurant somewhere. You've got to increase your respect here, you know, because if you insult a player, I don't think we've ever done that, but you know what players are like that. You know, they love to throw the toys out around. We haven't had one of those players in a long time. You know, toys getting thrown out. The prom players, especially over contracts. So hopefully, whatever it is with him, get it done. But there'll be a lot of interest in him, especially in France. Because he captains France a lot. Even when like we talk about how many all these big central defenders they have, how many good ones, like some of the best in the world. When they're all fit, Kanate starts for France, and he captains him sometimes. PSG would love to take him back to France. I guarantee you, he has an offer from them. So that's the only spanner in the works I can see.
Mm-hmm.
They'd like to bring him back as their kind of French kind of totem pole.
Back
Because they're
home
getting
sort of
rid of the
hero type
Ramos.
of, yeah.
Yeah, make it more of a French team, bringing through like their younger French talent that they have, not wasting all money on Neymar or Messi. They're changing their whole way of doing things with regards to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they would love a Kanate and probably like a Chumani, you know, younger generation up and coming. So I think that he'll have an offer from them this summer. Like there'll be a contract there if he wants to sign it, basically, and go to Paris.
Mm-hmm. And when
So
he signed for us, his video was like he's in a playground in Paris with all the crew, all his boys there, and then he's in Liverpool. So he's connected to Paris in that way. So maybe bro, you don't know what's going to happen with him.
No, I don't think he'll go, but I think they'll be on the phone to his agent just saying if Evo wants to come back to Paris, there's a contract.
The door's open. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a contract here for him.
Copyright Callum says Paul Joyce has broken. We are looking at Kirkers and Hater for left back options.
We already knew that. It's nothing new. No, so it's something already new. It's been reported on a lot of outlets. So it's just he's on Copish as well. Someone's like, oh, hey, dude, but I was thinking we already know that. What's new about that? Because it's Paul Joyce. I'll big up Cop-Out Callum anyway.
Yeah, I think ever since the owners don't really spend, I don't really look at the future no more concerning players might come in, might leave and stuff like that. I just leave it as it is. They've taken that excitement of transfer windows away. So I don't care who we're looking at right now. Isaac, Isaac's name has been mentioned more than anyone in the last month, and I'm thinking we got a game against Isaac on Wednesday, and then again in the final in a few weeks' time. Right now, that's the last person I want at this club. You know what I mean? That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I look at football. If he's not wearing a red shirt right now, I don't really care. When he's got that Liverpool red shirt in his hands, there's a brick wall behind him with a Liverpool badge on there, and he's smiling for the cameras. Yeah, let's talk football then. But until he plays for Liverpool, I'm not really bothered. Or who it might be after, because I think transfer speculation is a moneymaker in betting and this, that, and the other. And I think a lot of fans sort of jump on that as well. Or we might a lot of content creators make shows about guys who we might get. And when you look at them shows again a year later down the line, none of them players came. Steve don't really like Paul Joyce. He would like Max, Jones, and Gravenberch to shoot more. For me, midfielders are there to shoot. Middle of the box, bang, just shoot from the outside the box. Just shoot, Bless up, Anton. Hope you're cool, bro. Big up the pan and all. You never walk alone. A lovely win yesterday.
Anton.
Great weekend, bro.
Big up, Anton. Big up yourself, bro.
JK, before you move on,
Mm-hmm.
can I just say, I think there's also been, I don't know what they call it, like maybe like a Stockholm syndrome or something like that is what's been caused. And as you like to say a lot, we haven't done anything in the last 4 windows, but it technically it's the last 3. The first of the last 4 was Grav, Mac, Dom that summer, but we've done nothing in the January, the summer, and the January since. Now, in that short space of time, we haven't won anything yet. Well, we got the cup, the League Cup, from our quad. We are where we are this year, but I think I don't know if the club's meant to do this or whatever. And then, though, yeah, but I think a lot of fans have been kind of brainwashed into thinking that we haven't done business, blah 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 blah, which means we don't need to do business. Like you said, it's been taken away from us a lot of, like the fun and the enjoyment almost of transfers, not transfers for transfer's sakes, but new players, coming and going. And like it always used to be, all like every club all the time, but the teams have won these. Every summer it'll be a couple in, couple out. They may not be 100. They don't have to be 100 million, 80 million. It's just players refresh, re-energize, new ideas, new things. Ferguson always used to say, 2 every year. That was his thing. Back in the day, you'd have to 1 or 2 every year. You need to do that. Doesn't matter who it is, what it is. Some fans now, I think they're like, "Oh, but look how good we are without transfers. Look how good we are," and it's like they seem to have, even in a real short period of time. Maybe this is to do a little bit with the FSG effect. That they've lost that idea that like, yeah, let's go out and get a few players. Now it has to be no. But who's leaving? Who's not good enough? Who do you hate? Who do you want to sell? Tell me who you're selling, and what about his ways? And what about his ways? It's like, dude, what happened to like transfers in the summer? That's what we always used to do. That's what people did. That joy of just bringing in a couple of new players, like stats, analytics, has fucking ruined them, man. Because you can't just go, well, that guy looks good. Let's go and get him, and then someone will tear your argument down because of this and that. We have lost that kind of thing where this Liverpool sleek machine where we only buy the best. I think we have lost that idea, that kind of just fun of there's no better feeling other than winning stuff is waking up on like a Tuesday morning and clicking on or opening the paper back in the day and seeing Liverpool have signed this guy. And you're like, oh wow, what a player. Can't beat that. But that's been taken away a little bit.
Yeah. Nalante, what do you think?
In terms of, sorry, I missed a bit. Sorry, I was just sorting something out. Sorry, what was the question again, JK?
In terms of like how that excitement of transfer windows opening and stuff like that. Like back in the days, like Brian just said, open the paper, bang. Liverpool bought this guy, looking at this guy, and we're gonna get it done. And the way we've done, like the January transfer window came and gone, bro. Nothing there for us, nothing. And I think fans are getting sort of frustrated. Like, for me, football is about two things. One, the ball going over the line, back of the net. And two, which players are we getting? So what do you think about the way our club have sort of brought no one in the like 4 windows, bar Chiesa? Um, has that
But
taken the excitement away? You know?
my main point, JK, was that I think like somehow there's fans out there that have also become kind of like Stockholm syndrome into thinking that, oh, you can't improve these players. You can't say you want to buy a player now or you like a player without it being, yeah, but look at his stats, look at his analytics. Who are you going to sell to get rid of him? What about the wages? It's like it just used to be one of those, like Jake is a really fun part of football. Yeah, who will we get in the summer? This guy, that guy. Now you have to go way out your world to justify it. Fans just seem to think because we haven't bought much under FSG, some of them, a lot of them want them the opposite, but there's a lot of people I think they're out there like, oh no, you don't need new players. You don't need to buy players because we haven't bought that many players. Like that to me is what's happened a little bit. It's like, where's the kind of fun gone in? Like, who are we going to get in the summer? Who are we going to bring in January? Now it's like, no, debate your position and prove your point. Whatever happened to just bringing in players and fans being excited about it?
That's it, Nalante. So what do you reckon?
It just is what it is. I mean, there's nothing new. FSG just Perfect FC. That's it, man.
Yeah, but do you blame
They
FSG
choose.
for that, or you blame the fans for that?
Um, it's hard. Well, I blame them to be honest, because the fans won't have anything to say unless there's productivity in it, and it starts at the top. It's like having a UK government. People could moan, but it starts at the top. You're not do reliable. If you put in false narratives out to the people, then they've got every right to have a grievance. And people, right? Like I said, I've always said with this issue, that there's some good things outside the club, training ground, etc. Like with the community, they haven't left Anfield and visiting a world class training ground now. For the future, combining the first team and reserves and under 18s to be able to train together. Well, but again, on the spending side, look, I get not again, and this is the thing. Fans are not asking, well, the majority of them, unless they're in Cloud Cuckoo, fans are not asking for a £300 million spending spree every year for your city, but at least spend something. It's not a crime for like every season and once in a while spend 100, 150. We've always got the money, but they just choose not to, and that's the thing. Like, and I've just said to you, the question is, do they want to be sitting on just the one Premier League? I know we're in pole position. When we get there, then I'll speak about. But do they want to create a dynasty, or do they just want to go off? Oh, it's just a coach. The coach has to deal with the magic. Oh, if there's about 10 injuries, we're not going to bother. And that's the thing. So it's kind of keys. I think with them, we're going to have to get to a crossroads. I mean, what do they actually want to do with this club? That's all I'll say.
Sorted, bro. Anton, you want to take this comment, Nalante? Hater, like left back at Ajax, should be our top priority when buying players. He has everything for me, much better than Kirkers, in my opinion.
Oh, Anton, big up yourself, 100%. I've been clocking this guy since he broke into the Ajax first team. I heard about him. The youth is very highly, and look, 19. He's already captained Ajax. He's one of the senior captains, mate. Honestly, I know it's the Dutch league, so I'll try not to go overboard. He's quality, man. He's got 2 assists last week. And yeah, man, he is the guy for the future, man. He's going to be a top player, and it's a no-brainer. So go get him in the summer. And like, he covers centre back and left back, similar to Timber. Timber's good. I believe he's better than Timber because he's got a bit more end product. He's that guy. Go get him. Simple as.
Brian, for yourself?
Yeah, that's the one. You see, I saw a thing with David Lynch. I can't remember if he was talking to somebody, interviewing somebody, or just doing a bit on his own. And there was the Anthony Robinson links, which you've seen have died away. Kirk's links were like at the top of the thing, and he was saying, I don't know anything definitive. I'm not saying this is a fact. Kind of, so he was qualifying it like that. But this is just what I've been told from people around the club is that the left back they're looking at is a Hato, as in terms of timber type of player, not a Robinson, not a Kirkes, not a flying left back, because he wants to have one side of his defense that's like that, with that kind of guy, a guy that can play in the back three, a Nate Nake, Gavardiol can play left back, centre half, and then his right hand side be a Bradley, a Trent, a flying, a guy getting up and down the wing. So he was saying from day one, just judging what he'd been told, because Kirkes and Robinson are um, Andy Robinson type wingers, flying wingers that get up and down and put crosses in. So he doesn't see those as realistic because that's not chimed with what he's been told. So that's why I've always had my eye on this, is like, because he's anything that has Kirkes and Robinson, I'm just thinking no. And so the Hato one makes way more sense to me, to have a guy, because that's what we've all been crying out for, is someone that can do that job. So I'd like to see that, and I think it is. They all keep talking about, Darwin Núñez, this and that, but all the journals, when you listen to them, they usually say, "Or we will do business in in the summer," but the number one position we're looking at is left back. So there's definitely going to be something happening.
Sorted. MK2, blessed up, bro. Whose channel is this? JK, this is Fozzie's channel, bro. We're all Liverpool family right here. So we all help each other out on shows. Brian's got his own channel, 12 Man Fozzie. Alante in the future, myself as well. So we just help each other out, get content out there, and rejoice after yesterday's game. A place where everyone can sort of celebrate. So I've been smiling all weekend, bro, ever since the West Ham game. So we all ended up doing shows on each other's channels, Yeah, quickly, Endo, looking at the subs yesterday, we haven't done that. I wanted to do that right now. The subs that came on yesterday, for example, Endo, out of 10, Nalante?
Solid 7, man. Endo does what he does. Unlucky not to start this game for me, but Endo does what he does. 7.
Brian?
Yeah, he's the lock you put on the door, but I just think from you do it at 2-0, it's the perfect scenario. But I don't think we've conceded. I know we haven't lost. We've never lost a game that he's been subbed on in. And someone, I think, said yesterday, we've never actually conceded a goal in any game he's been, like, since his being subbed on in a game. So we pretty much, it's just the human final whistle, basically. It's what they used to call Milner. Bring him on, see it out. What did he get, though? 20 minutes?
Yeah, he came on in the 73rd minute.
Yeah,
So
so 20
20
minutes.
Yeah,
Plus
so
stoppage time. Yeah, yeah.
7.
And he
Yeah,
did
so
2
it's
challenges. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, just a 7, I suppose. But even that's high for someone with only 20 minutes. But
Yeah, but what he did in that 20 minutes for me, he did
yeah,
2-3 challenges where outside the
yeah.
box, sort of got his foot in
No,
there.
that's
So,
why I'm giving him the bit extra. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. He just came in. He did what he needed to do when he came on. And football isn't like that sometimes, Gapco came on in the 79th minute. I'll give him a 7 just to see him come back from injury. So I'll give him a 7, and he was just like got a little bit of a run around for about 15 minutes. Good to see him back. Well done, bro. I'll give him a 7. Do you want to say anything about Gapco? Good to see him back. Alante?
Yeah.
Brian, yeah.
Exactly. We're going to need him. He's our second best attacker, I think.
Yeah, that's how I'm seeing him as well. And that's good. He's done that with hard work. He's focused since the Euros, top scorer there. This season, he's been top. We sort of missed him, I would say, in a few games, say Villa away against Everton. And then yesterday, him coming back onto the pitch. Good to see with the amount of games we got coming up. Nalante, you want to say anything about Gapco?
Yeah, good to see him in the pitch. A few touches. Can't really rate him highly. I'll just say 5, just because he came on, done anything. That's it, really. So it's fine.
And Simicas then, he replaced Robertson in the 74th minute. So he had about 20 minutes as well. He did that one sort of clearance where
Oh
Alisson
yeah, you
score.
used it. Yeah.
That looked dodgy, bro.
That's it. Thinking, what are you doing, Simicast? Like, oh, thank God. Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, what are you doing to me? But yeah,
For me, Alisson should have just headed it because there was two players there. He could have just headed it out to him. For me, I'm not risking them sort of situations. You know, the referee, if he was being a bit of a not a nice guy, he would have said, "You know what? I'm giving you a free kick there. That's a pass back." So it can go either way, you know. So, but for me, Alisson should have just headed that into Kwanzaa's or whoever's there sort of position. Simicast, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He just played the last 20 minutes nicely. Didn't have much to do, really, I would say. 6 for everyone, cool. 6 out of 10 for Simicast.
yeah, all
Yeah.
good.
And then Kwanzaa came on in the 92nd minute.
No
With Harvey
rating.
Elliott. Huh?
No, I ain't giving them a rating. It's just my second
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah,
But Kwanzaa
yeah.
just came on, took a throw in. Didn't really
Made a
have much
nice
to
One of
little
your
do.
run.
mates, are you?
He made a nice little run.
Yeah,
Kwanzaa's
nice
got
little
that in
run.
him. Have you noticed how even though he hasn't
It,
been great this season, one part of his game that's got better is his attacking side of his game. His passing, for me, very much improved. Really good. Him and Kanai playing centre back. I think Slots worked on both of them guys on their
well,
passing, and you can see it with Kwanzaa, bro. His real football is coming out in the games he's sort of played in. He's getting a bit more adventurous with the ball. He wants to attack. And he scored Klopp's last goal at the club. So he can score. You know, for me, Kwanzaa, it's good to see him getting a few more minutes than that. And I think with Conor Bradley being out, I think he might be a lot of makeshift sort of right back covering Trent, maybe. You know, so it's good to see him getting game time. MK need to find a new core for the near future. I think after this season, a lot of things will happen. I think a lot of things will happen. Anton, you want to take that, Nalante?
okay. So Irishman is right. FSG always do this. There'd be a smoke screen if we win things, but in the squad needs replenishment, add-ons. Look what happened to us when we won the Champions League, but didn't replenish. Yeah, no, Anton, I think we can all agree, but they will be spending definitely this summer. If they
Has to
don't,
be,
then they
man.
really fooled
Has
us. Yeah, Slot,
has to
exactly,
be this
Brian.
year.
Slot has already said that he's already gone into it saying we will spend. So, yeah, and unless they really are the robbers, the thieves of the nights, we'll be spending 100%.
We can. Do you know the only thing is this is these bloody tree contracts, man.
Yeah, I know, Brian. That's
Just
see, Brian. See, this is an annoying thing, Brian. And sorry, I know you're going to say something. I was just going to say
no,
that.
that's basically it.
No,
It's basically it.
I was gonna say, Brian, is that if we again, I know it's hypothetical. Well, it's still hypothetical at the moment. We don't know, but if they had these three contracts signing wrapped up, then we'd be laughing in the summer because all we need was probably about three players or so players just to replenish the squads. But now there's a chance that we do this, we complete the journey, and then we've got to restart again. And it's honestly, Brian, it's Jake, very frustrating, very frustrating that because if we complete the journey, Brian, we do again, then what we should be saying is that nah, next season we want back to back. But again, these three go, then it's I don't know. But anyway, we'll stick with the positives anyway. We'll deal with it when it comes because MK Toe, I think we will see another four big signings in this summer. Well, we hope so. Yeah, listen, all of us on the panel here, we're looking with our eyes open at FSG to see what they do, Hughes and Edwards. Okay, it's just reading out some of the comments, Steve. Walking on. We win the title by FSG spending 10.5 million on Chiesa. Watch FSG spend 5 million this summer. Oh, Steve, let's not even go there. They won't. It'll be more than five. I can confidently say that. But I hear you. I hear you. And to MK Toe. Oh, where's Fozzie? LOL. Well, to tell you, MK Toe, between me and you, since JK's busy, this is the JK's channel now. Fozzie's been put in the back burner. He won't be coming back until the summertime. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. Fozzie has been put. He knows this. Yeah. Fozzie works for us. Yeah. He works for us. There you go. No, it's fine. We just MK to no, just the situation. Me and Fozzie, Fozzie's fine, but me and JK and the Irishman, when he comes, we'll do spontaneous channels in between. So we'll come on in between when Fozzie does the usual. So it's we're just more content for the channel and just more talk. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, there's too many Liverpool content creators who are going to be a bit OTT with the negative side of the game and that. And I think I don't want the future of Liverpool fan base to be like the United and Arsenal fan base. Like they've gone pear shaped for the last 10 years. And football YouTube shows and all this, that, and the other came along, and they sort of exploded because there were teams that were doing really bad. I don't really want that to happen to our club. Hence why you'll see us guys, 12th man, Fozzie, all doing shows together. Quasi even, he came on yesterday. To keep the good, like, keep it a good vibe supporting Liverpool. We don't want to be shouting at the TV screen, moaning 24/7 about the club. For me, there's only one thing wrong about the club, it's the owners. Everything else seems to be okay, but that's another topic, another day, you know.
Hundred percent. 100%. So in terms of man of the match, obviously, I mean, my obvious choice is Salah. I think JK, yours man of the match is Salah, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian, your one is it VVD? Is it?
Yeah, I was yeah, like I said, I gave him and Thingy the same rating, but even though I gave Mo the same score, for me, VVD was like the hero man of the match, if you know what I'm saying. Because it's much more of a defensive performance, you know. It's much more he you know, it was all about holding it together. He just tied the whole thing down. So, like you said, man, that was the Virgil of, you know, peak pre-ACL, peak Virgil, mopping up everything, just popping up everywhere, back to his best. And I loved the interview he gave afterwards. He was saying, "What do you do now?" He said, "Same thing I tell all the boys: go home, rest, or go home, recover, train, play again. I'm going to go home, get a sauna, get in the pool, and I'm going to be ready to go again tomorrow." He said, "Tomorrow, I'm going to be ready to go again tomorrow." That's the mindset this guy is in right now.
Yeah, they use
we
the word
just need to-
imperious a lot when a defender's in his pomp. They'll say an imperious display from, you know, insert name here. But like it was from Virgil yesterday, everything about it was pure class, wasn't it? His performance yesterday, he was at the centre of it all, like, wasn't he? The way we just held him at bay, like, you know what I mean? He just held it all together, didn't he? Did his thing. Did his normal thing, but with a little bit extra savoir there yesterday. There was a little bit more of that yesterday. And he was loving it. I knew he was loving it as well, because the times he's missed out on medals because of City, he loved that yesterday.
Well, good afternoon to you too, Lee.
Absolutely.
He's too excited to jump, so you just need to say his point. You're too excited, Lee. Still on the high of yesterday. Good afternoon to you, Lee. Welcome.
Lee's happy. Good to see.
Yeah.
MK Toe says 20% moaning is okay. It's healthy. I like that.
Yeah.
KJ, bless, bro. Hope you're cool. Bro. VVD was man of the match for him as well.
Fair enough.
And big up JK, Brian, Lee, and Lance.
Big up JKG.
There's actually genuinely very little to moan about at the moment. In fact, there's such a lack of things to moan about that I've focused my other energies on laughing at our rivals and how badly they're doing, when I'm not thinking about how good we are.
No, that's right, Lee. But unfortunately, in every fan base, whether you're bottom or top, there'll always be something to moan about. That's the
Tell you
thing,
what's
and
tickled me fancy in recent days, that Chelsea don't look like they're getting top four now, which is a stain on them, like, isn't it, to not be able to secure top four for the second successive season with a squad like that, with wages like that. That's a bad one for them, isn't it, if they can't get Champions League again.
well, speaking of that, I mean, JK, we can go into the next in terms of some of the other scores because, funny enough, you brought that out, Lee. Chelsea have spent in the process since Mr. Bowley came on to the scene. They spent about £1 billion on players, and when I look at Chelsea's squads, they just 2 points. They really have not all the money they spend. They really have not got a experienced centre back like a Rudiger, like a Virgil. When I mean in that sense, someone experienced, which is a bit incompetence from Chelsea, if I'm honest, with all that spending. And you still haven't got an out number 9, which is kind of embarrassing for Chelsea. And Brian, our friend, Mr. Palmer, he's really gone cold. I'm not talking about ice cold in a good way. He's really gone cold on the scene. And the race for the Champions League. Look, and imagine this before you guys chime in. If Forest beat Arsenal on Wednesday, Forest are 3 points behind Arsenal. 3 points behind Arsenal. Just eat that. And this Champions League, this is going all the way. This is interesting. It's an interesting race. I think Arsenal will eventually. They'll finish obviously second, but second, but the race for the other two spots, it's all in for grabs. What do you guys think? Very interesting race, the top two, the Champions League spots.
Yeah, I think City will. I think City will get over this defeat and they'll finish top four. Defo, like, Arsenal will get top four, obviously, but probably Forest are looking more likely at the moment. Maybe Newcastle. It will be Bournemouth, but it doesn't look like it's going to be Chelsea because their form just isn't picking up enough at the sharp end of the season. They're floundering, aren't they, at the wrong time if they want to get top four. I quite like it, yeah. I don't like Chelsea, never have done.
Yeah, just going through the results over the weekend, like we kicked off on Friday with Leicester losing to Brentford 4-0.
Poor Ant.
Oh, yeah, they were going down. I said to Ant, I genuinely meant it when I said to Ant months ago, I think usually, because I looked at them early in the season and I thought, yeah, that is good enough to stay up, but it isn't, is it? Like, I think they're going to go down, aren't they, Leicester?
Yeah, I think all the teams that came up will all go down. But I had Everton going down this season. I don't know. I think Leicester had staying up, but I think the teams that came up, they'll all go back down. I think there's a bit of a gap now between Wolves, even United. The United are like 3 spots above the relegation zone. And they played Everton in a 2-2 in a Desmond on Saturday early afternoon.
Yeah, I think it'll turn out to be a wise move, bringing Moyes back. I know my dad liked Sean Dyche. He thought, yeah, he's all right, he does his best, etc. But I think it was a wise move to replace him with Moyes. I think it'll pay off for them next season. I don't think they won't be anywhere near the relegation zone, I don't think, next season, especially if they can have a bit of money in the summer off them new owners. Haven't they been bought out a bit? Like a big stake in them has been bought out or something, Everton. I didn't pay that much attention, but they got some new sort of half new owners or something recently to replace Mashiri and what was the other guy's name? Usher Alamanov or something. Usmanov, that was it. Alisher Usmanov. So they gone after and Everton have brought someone new in the background, the money man. Does anyone know?
I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I'm sure they got new. I don't know if it's like entire owners, but they have got new money or something, haven't they? And so they should be able to spend in the summer. They won't be near the relegation zone under Moyes next season. He'll improve them, I think. Like, well, it keeps the derby alive. I would miss the derby, and I've missed laughing at them anyway. So I want them around.
MK2, Brian says these boys have been moaning all season about this.
Yeah. Look, I say asking people not to moan is like asking people not to I don't know.
breathe.
Is it?
Yeah, people are going to moan. Everyone's going to moan about something, man. Everyone's going to have a little moan about something. That's what a lot of these channels are for. Sometimes after a bad game, is so people can just come on and vent and give out. But if you're the kind of person every night, it's the same thing: moan, moan, moan. I don't like this. I don't like that. But people, there's a time, and it's fine. You got to put it out there. That's why a lot of people come on channels to get to have their say, and sometimes they're just moaning. But yeah, we all know the difference between that and some guy that's on the same channel every night with the same comments, moaning about the same things. You don't need that. Don't need that.
There's a time
Yeah,
and
they're
place.
shutting down the United canteen at the end of the week on Friday. The United staff canteen is being shut down.
What's
Madness.
that advert? 12 showed us last night when we went off YouTube. 12 showed us an advert with Beckham getting some like food or something off someone famous, an actor or someone. It
Nah,
was.
it's a beer. It was what's his name? What's that actor's name?
British actor.
It's American actor.
American actor on it. I can't remember who it
What's
bloody
his
was.
name, man?
I thought it was for like food because he had some like chicken wings or some shit or like chicken nuggets or something. It looked like in a garden at like a barbecue or something. It looked like to me the
Ryan
advert.
Reynolds.
His name is.
Hey, do you know what, Brian? You brought to my attention that I'd never previously thought that much about it. Beckham does never do any publicity stuff for United and never has he? Like,
Yeah, Matt Damon, bro. It was Matt Damon and
that's it, Matt Damon. Yeah, how could I forget him? Matt Damon.
yeah, and it's a Stella Artois.
It was great in Team America.
It was a Stella Artois advert. That was MK2. I'm shocked Foden was so bad. I didn't even realize he was playing, bro. There was a time where Foden was in the middle of the box. He had 4 Liverpool giants around him, and I said that don't look right. That's what KJ. If Forest draw, it's over.
I like
first draw with Arsenal, it means.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's looking bleak if they don't get 3 points, isn't it? Regardless of what we do, even if we were to lose, a draw for them would be like catastrophic, wouldn't it? Wouldn't finish them off like mathematically or nothing like, but it'd be a huge blow to the solar plexus, wouldn't it?
That's true. Second might even be a problem when I also have no teeth, like a Virgil.
Oh, Brian. That one, that was a good one. He walked right, classic. Well, fair play.
Mate, the idea of us not having Virgil next season is just like bizarre and ludicrous. Just like that way to happen. I don't know.
And Wiley, is it because he's like a virgin?
What you doing, Brian? He's getting the mic out, bro.
I can't believe myself over it. As soon as he said it, I was just like,
wait for Nalante to sing that.
Brian is in that basketball. Brian just gave me the alley oop. I just had to.
Terrible voice.
And,
this is funny from KJ. This is funny.
You heard how United are serving stuffed soup and sandwiches with the PPs. But who told you, Melissa Reddy? Melissa Reddy's the one who's getting the fruit.
Yeah, exactly. Brian's going over there right now. Brian, when's your flight?
Yeah, she's getting the fruit. That's the little thing they let her do, you know. Hey.
Too funny. Funny.
Slice my kiwi any day of the week.
The odd thing about
maybe not.
Looking at United's predicament, I was interested to see how Amarin did because we were linked with him, weren't we? Like before we got Slot, and I was interested. Like, know much about him, like, but looking at him now, it's going to take him some time, and to make them anything. And I don't even mean title challenges; I just mean to make them anything.
Yes, Born Lisbon, man. Since he's gone, they've been even as bad as they've been terrible. They've just gone downhill completely.
Yeah, you can't judge a manager like that so quickly. Though you've got to give him time. Like if you brought him in, it's ridiculous to sack him straight away. They've got to give this one a bit more time, haven't they? Do you
Yeah,
reckon?
but big clubs, they got to make the decisions. I mean, Chelsea would, well, I mean, minus Pep, if it was him, be Pep, then they got to do it. I mean, Rangers have made a sacking. I mean, it really depends. I mean, if they're like this, let's just say this time next season, it's what, March and the 15th, he'll be gone. Oh, he'll be gone. He'll be gone.
Do you
Do
stick
you
to
reckon if
this,
Slot
Brian?
became like
After this
ridiculously
weekend,
successful after this season going forward, he could be poached by like Real Madrid as a coach to replace Ancelotti or some shit?
Brian,
Nah,
do you stick with this
Ancelotti's leaving
weekend's
this summer,
games
doesn't
just
he? So
gone
they'll have
from
a new
Emily?
coach this summer.
With these games gone over this weekend, that statement that Arsenal won't get second could be true, bro. You sticking with it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I said that about 2 weeks ago. I thought they could drop off. They could drop off just enough to get caught by something, by a point maybe or something. But I don't think it's kind of now it's over now and it's Liverpool first, Arsenal second. I don't think it's that straightforward. No.
Okay. Nalante, do you reckon who's getting second?
I think Arsenal will get second, but if Forest beat them on Wednesday, then it'll be interesting. But I still think they'll get second.
I think if Forest beat Newcastle yesterday and then they beat Arsenal, then they would have been level with them
Yeah, oh, yeah, they would have. Yeah.
because they're 6 points behind them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a gap, bro. I think Arsenal will get second. I don't want them to get second. I don't even want them to get top four.
I'm not bothered.
Or either Brentford or someone like that, you know, Forest. I don't even really like Forest, even, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah, with 12's boy, Wolfie.
There
yeah.
wasn't
I'd rather
part
just
of
have
me that
Liverpool.
was prepared to, battle with Arsenal right to the end. It doesn't look like it's going to go right to the end now. But yeah, in that respect, like, I still wanted revenge for 1989 for that fucking minute thing, that 89th minute thing in 89. The year was 89, the minute was 89. The man was Michael Thomas.
Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, and then he signed for us. I like Michael Thomas.
It was the
No, his 40
closest ever
scored.
possible title race, like, because we both ended on the same goal difference as well, but they'd scored more goals for one season, bizarrely, which wasn't a regular thing with Arsenal, that they scored a lot, but that season they'd scored more than us and got the title on that. So I was kind of hoping that we might go to the end and then beat them at the end, so I could have revenge for them, because I was on the cop for that one, like, I was want revenge for that. But it'd just be nice to win it in any fashion. I don't really care who comes second, as long as we finish first. I'm not asked who finish second. They can do what they want.
If we don't moan, there won't be new players coming in. Ed Morgan, bless. Hope you're cool. Nice to see you. He's gone with the Liverpool, Forest, Arsenal, Newcastle top four.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel Arsenal will get second. I think City will come into it somehow. I can't really see City not getting top four. So it's between
they'll finish top four.
Forest and Newcastle maybe for that other spot for me. Nalante, what do you reckon? Top four? Which order?
Arsenal, City, and
If Isaac stays fit.
Yeah. Without him, they're done, I feel.
Too inconsistent. This is the problem. I don't know if we could do the fourth. So I'm stuck between two, but yeah, I think Arsenal, City will be there.
Yeah, I think Arsenal, City, Liverpool. I'm gonna go Forest.
Not fair
Yeah,
play.
Yeah.
That'll be that's a manager of the season right there if he does.
KJ says Forest will be hungry after 2 defeats. Could be. As long as they do Arsenal, that'd be cool. And Sir Jim is cutting everyone off. Like, he's cutting this, that, and the other. Like, for me, Man United, imagine being them. Life is good for being a Liverpool fan right now, you know. Hence, we ain't got no time to moan, you know. Looking into the week coming up for us, we've got a game against Newcastle on Wednesday, and then we've got a weekend off. Lee, blessing in disguise, coming out the FA Cup last round. Hence, we got like a week.
The first still to be in it, but something had to give. Something had to
Yeah.
give. No one can do them 4 in one season. That won't get done anytime soon, if ever, that, where someone wins or 4. Can't see it. So, yeah, something had to give. I'm not that arsed, really, this season. We've got a cup final coming up anyway, that's good enough, and it's against a fervent base in the Geordies. Like, they'll be up for it, singing their heads off, like, so it should be a good final. Can't wait for it. And let's be honest, the FA Cup final isn't that much bigger than the League Cup final these days. It's diminished to what it was. It's just another domestic cup competition with the League Cup, you know what I mean? Slightly bigger. It's still slightly bigger, but it's not what it was. Not near what it was when I was a kid, like when I was a young man, or even like in 20 years ago, say, when I was in my early 30s. Like, it wasn't that big then. It gone down, hadn't it? Like, it just, over time, it just cheapened and that, with all the different demands of like extra games and the Champions League taking precedence and everything. Yeah, it took a bit of a backseat, didn't it? Like, in recent
Yeah, but imagine
times.
this, Lee. Imagine, for example, I'm just giving an example here. Imagine you're, I don't know, Leeds United now in their sort of top of the championship. Imagine they win the FA Cup. So they're in the Europa League that season after. Imagine they win the Europa League. They're playing Champions League football. So for me, the FA Cup has got a route where you could be not a big club or even a club that's not even in the Premier League and get to the Champions League. And I think that's good with the FA Cup. So you can get to Europa League, win that, get into the Champions League. Very difficult to happen, of course.
Isn't it crazy that Bob Paisley could win the FA Cup? He could win 3 European Cups and 6 league titles in 9 years, but he couldn't win the FA Cup. Oh, United at Wembley in 77, mate. That fluky goal from Jimmy Greenough that won it for them and denied us the treble in 77. Bastards. Still remember that. I mean, I was alive at the time. I wasn't like watching it then, like 4 or some shit like. But yeah, it's a bad one in the memory. And when you watch it, that goal from Greenough, Jimmy Case's goal was brilliant that day to equalise. Great shot.
And nice to see you, Liam Hughes. We're doing what we did in 1984, boys.
Yeah, I went to town in 1984, like when I was a kid. I must have been 11 then, that May. And we all like ran round after the buff for ages and that. Like, it was brilliant. It was a good day. It's just like a good thing and that.
Nalante, going into this week coming up now, like we've got the weekend off next weekend, and we've got Newcastle Wednesday. What are you looking at team-wise? Who do you want to see rested? Do you want to see the same team? Do you want to see a striker? Like, what are you looking at in this Newcastle game coming up? I know 3 points is a must, but formation-wise, team-wise, what do you think?
I'll start Endo. I'll rest. I'll put Mac on the bench.
Who on the bench? Mac.
Yeah, I put Mac on the bench.
Okay.
Cody's fit. I'll start him. Salah and Jota through the middle. Defensively wise, yeah, keep the same back five. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
So you go like KJ. I know KJ likes playing with a 9. It sort of worked out yesterday, not having a 9, because I felt the midfield needed that extra body in there, and it sort of worked out pretty sort of perfect. But for me, we're at home against Newcastle. You got to play Jota, I think. Jota or Darwin. Like, for me, Darwin hasn't played in a while now, so I don't think it will be him. It will be Jota with maybe Gapco on the left. Brian, what do you reckon? Newcastle coming up. Excited? What do you want to see? Who do you want to see rested? Do you want to see a different formation?
Yeah, like I said, we won't be doing this at home. What we're doing, that's his defensive formation, I suppose. You're definitely not going to do that. So it's pretty, yeah, it's it's a couple of days away, but assuming they are fit, I would be bringing in Gakpo on the left, Jota in the middle. So for Diaz and Jones, same midfield, Gravdon, Mac, same back four, same keeper. Yeah, so I'd just be bringing in Gakpo and Jota for a more attacking formation. But yeah, Jota through the middle, Gakpo off the left.
Lee?
Yeah, I'd like to see Gakpo come back in on the left, Jota and Salah.
As your front three, yeah?
Yeah, bring Gakpo back in with Jota up top.
Like I would play Endo for Gravenberch at home at Anfield. And then KJ saying keep Luco left wing. MK30 looked like your own news or a detention class on the bench yesterday. That was too funny. When I seen them two on the bench, I couldn't stop laughing actually.
I think if any of the three midfielders I might rest, it'd be Sabo after the shift he put in that game yesterday. I might rest him and bring Jones in front of
Jones played as well.
Or Harvey, a wild card Harvey.
I mean,
Endo.
I wouldn't mind seeing Endo myself. Yeah, I just don't think he's going to do it from the start. I wish he would. Wish he bloody would in one game. I know that starts on Wednesday because I reckon we could still do it. You know what I mean? Still beat them.
Could have played any of these. Yeah. No, you're right. He could have played any of these last 3 to 4 games, but he hasn't. So we'll see. I agree. I don't think he will, but
also
anyway.
wanted like to have, if he did bring Endo in, it's just to like move the other two forward ones, so Max in the 10. I wouldn't say no to that for a match.
Yeah, it's just having a DM. It's just having solidified. I know defensively we were all right yesterday, but it's just just a bit just sees what we can do once we get, and we'll probably go for a proper DM in the summer. So just something like that, just solidify us in the midfield a bit. Get back control. Endo can keep it neat, move it to whoever's a Gravenberch / Mac or Jones, and whoever's the two ahead. Or the two next to him in the pivot.
Please put Gerrard and Harvey to get minutes. Like, it's big for both of them to get on the pitch in that match. Like, so I was pleased to see them get on. And you could feel it coming, couldn't you? That if you used the subs, it wouldn't be the strikers. Like, that he was just going to change the other positions. That's exactly what he did. But yeah, it's good for Harvey to get some action because he's been patient. He hasn't had much lately, like, has he?
Yeah, Chiesa was there as well on the bench. Yeah, all three of them just sitting there like they've been in
Chiesa thing, all it tells you is that Slot doesn't feel he's fit enough yet to start a Premier League game.
Now, Slot's just going with the security guard, bro. He isn't going to risk nothing to win that Premier League title. He don't care if you're battered. He's going to have you on that pitch. It's as simple as that. And in a weird sort of way, so be it. Hence why yesterday I was really sort of encouraged with the Gravenberch Szoboszlai display, because for me, they were the two names I've been mentioning in the last few weeks, along with Virgil Say, who weren't on top of their games. But yesterday, all three, for me, played pretty well. Yeah, what you saying, Brian?
No, I don't agree that he plays players if they're battered, if they're shattered. I think he plays, but he should play the team that gives us the best chance of winning games and winning leagues. And we'll probably see a bit more changes coming up these leads. But he's famous for keeping a small squad, not using a lot of rotation, but also being really good at keeping players fit and players not getting injured. So I don't think he's playing people that are wrecked or shattered because he doesn't like Harvey Elliott. If these guys are redlined, look at the guys that haven't played. Gakpo, he said, wasn't quite ready, so he didn't play. Jota wasn't quite ready, so he didn't play. Went with other things. I don't think he's playing people that are shattered or broken just to keep him going and going and going. I mean, that's something you could legitimately talk about Jurgen Klopp for. But I think he trusts his medical people and they go, he's fit, he's good to go. He said it like, oh, Jota came to me yesterday and said he's not ready. It wouldn't have been just Jota coming in and go, oh, I'm not ready. He would have said, yeah, I'm not good to go. The medical staff aren't good. I'm not getting the green light. So on the bench. I just don't think things happen in isolation. Like, if Endo doesn't play and Elliott doesn't play and Tsimikas doesn't play, to me, that just says, oh, okay, well, these guys aren't rated good enough to perform for our team. I just want players who will perform for our team.
What do you think
So-
the chances are of seeing Simicast start the Newcastle game? To give Robbo a break from the start of the 11?
Yeah, it's a possibility. There's one or two sort of players who put a shift in yesterday who might get a rest. Robertson could be one of them guys. Simicast and maybe Sobotzolai. But for me, Jones will probably take Sobotzolai's position then. If we're going to go with 3 up top, then it will be like Gravenberch, McAllister, Jones, maybe. But for me, it's all about the 3 points. And that week, we'll have a week early from the game on Newcastle Wednesday. We ain't got a game at the weekend. Then we've got PSG the following Wednesday. So we've got a 7-day gap after this game coming up. So that will give players a few days off, no training, chill, relax, eat good, sleep good, and that's a week there. So that might be a little sort of blessing in disguise not being in the FA Cup. What we're going to do, guys, if you could press the like button, that would be very much appreciated. Brian, do you want to add anything before we leave? And like what we can look forward to coming up in the next few days, shows wise. I'll put the link in for the for everyone's
all the
channel
usual
as well.
spaces, all the usual places, all the usual times.
Yeah. Nalante, do you want to say anything before we leave?
Just big up the chat, big up tonight. We'll sure you see us again on the Liverpool 12th man, and we are top of the league. We aim to please.
Oh,
Number 1, just don't let me sneeze.
Yeah, Newcastle up next, and they're going to be victims of a beating. They can come for a draw if they want, any result they aspire to is okay by me, but what they want and what they get will be 2 different things, I think. They usually melt in the red-hot heat of Anfield, don't they, Newcastle? When they put in a solid performance at Anfield, it's rare, and they usually give up loads of chances, mate. Just got to make sure we watch them, up front and watch Isaac and whoever. Should get the points after that display yesterday, I think, anyway. Then it's on to Paris. It's a gay Paris.
there you go. So big games coming up. Big games coming up. I'll put the link in for Brian's channel, the Irishman Football. He'll probably be doing a show maybe today, tomorrow. Check that out. Then you got the 12th man show. Will be on there about 8ish, 7ish tonight, UK time, and then you got my channel at the bottom there. Yep, great show. Great to talk about the game yesterday. The fans seem happy. Everyone's sort of positive in that. Later shows, if any of you guys want to jump on while we're on a show, we can put the link in the chat. You can jump on as well. So good times. Nice one, Liverpool, for doing a top job yesterday away at Man City. That was a review show, and we'll see you later on, guys. Take care.
Peace.